S-
Yo,
This is very
Where are you?
unprofessional. Sorry.
I cannot see you.
Yeah, hold on. I'm setting
Sure,
up the phone.
sure,
Hear
sure,
me?
sure.
Very unprofessional.
Look who's talking.
I wouldn't
No, I'm not
expect
talking
anything
about
less,
me.
Snipes.
I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Is that what I do?
Mm.
Video. I
All
want to
right,
see
hold
your
on.
beautiful face.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do it. I even pulled a chair into my hallway so you don't see my messy apartment. I prepared for this. I just have to figure out how to do it.
Just put a background, old man. Why do you worry about the
Yeah, I
mess?
thought a Gen Zer like yourself would know how to do that.
This is only the second time I've ever been on Zoom.
Wow. So
Yeah.
we are so lucky to have you.
Are
It,
you?
it's our honor, yes. A 4-inch
Where
honor.
where are my options of things
You
to
just
do?
press the little video thing. There's a
Yeah,
little.
I'm not seeing it. Wait a minute. There we go. Is that? It's just It's all it is a person. The a odd shape of it resembling a person. Hold on.
Mhm.
Yay! Yes or no?
Oh,
No.
Okay. Ah,
Looks like I'm, teaching my dad how to use a cell phone.
I
mm.
don't. I'm not that old, doctor. I'm not that old.
But you're acting like that.
I know. It's only the second time I've been on Zoom.
Well,
Okay.
you are from Texas, so you are old enough to be my father, Snipes.
There we go.
Oh, look at
Look at
you.
how cool you are looking in that
Oh, the Barry
picture.
Manilow. Looking
Wow, you look
good.
great. You look
Yeah.
like a
What's
king.
up?
Wow.
Now, how do I get a
Dashing.
background?
Sorry. Oh, it's a perfect background. It's
Yeah, no,
matching
it's
with your
great.
skin tone. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll leave it alone then, because I'll only mess it up.
No, no, no. Yeah, leave it like this. So the legend is here. The D Snipes is here. So tell me how is it going? And you were pretty frustrated about the tiny cupboard mic cancellation at 7 p.m. Tell us what
No,
happened.
I wasn't frustrated at all. I just said it and got frustrated. I just said it got canceled.
Okay.
I Hawk Tuah, I was a doctor, Hawk Tuah, shall I say. I've sat there through two canceled mics before waiting for one to start. I just didn't I wanted to, I needed to come home and rest, man. I did
Right.
66 there in a month. Man, I'm
Yeah,
worn
I'm dealing
out.
with a case of strep going out for 7 days a week for, months now. It's finally caught up to me.
It's
Yeah, it's people don't give us credit how hard it is. I mean, you know, people think that comedians are layabouts, I guess, if that word makes sense. We are not. We're out all the time. And then I also do volunteer work too, so I put in pretty long hours. We all do.
you
Hmm.
see, I just shared a link from the guitarist of Alice in Chains. And
Yeah,
yeah, so he's saying that's the most fearless thing, and everybody tells me the same thing. Most of my friends or people who know that I've been doing music all my life, but they
yeah,
say that this is the most fearless thing. And in terms of all of us, we are doing the most fearless thing that we can do. So we are
yeah,
optimizing our output to maximum, and which is
yeah,
the classic definition of bravery. So that's all that
yeah,
matters. That's all that matters.
yeah. Well, I've seen all my life where I can't find the actual reference that I'm talking about. I've actually looked and I can't find it, but I swear I read sometime that the tops of Hollywood, the highest people in Hollywood, and the heads of industry, a lot of them say that the thing they're still scared of is doing a tight five in front of a crowd in New York City.
That's right.
Now, I have looked for it, so I can't find a direct quote from anyone.
No, no, no.
So
The
yeah,
idea, the central idea matters, and yeah, it's absolutely correct because you can't, like in music, you've been a rock star all your life, so you understand music and the guitars and instruments and the band at the backup. So that's a
I've been
different
a
story.
musician all my life.
But
A good part of it. I don't know about rock star, but I had some moderate, moderate success at it. Yeah,
right,
yeah.
you
I did.
you've
I
been
did it for a living.
you've been
Well,
to the
Joe
Yeah.
Rogan, he said if he had to do it again, he wouldn't be able to at this age, with his
Wow.
life and his abilities. But if he had
Yeah.
to go and do it again, it would be too
Yeah.
hard to work up through the open mic scene and get started. He just couldn't.
because he's a bad comedian. That's why.
Oh,
I gotta say, listen, well, I love taking pot shots at Joe Rogan as much as anybody. However, he does have one of the best bits I've ever heard. It's called Up There. It's
Really?
about a 10-minute bit about when people say, he begins with when people say, "What's up?" And then he just expands on that all the way to traveling through space, at light speed. So it's a brilliant bit.
Okay,
Really, a
I,
really
I
good.
I need to check out anything from him which is
Yeah.
not copied from Bill Hicks. So that would be
Yeah.
fun.
but I think that that's what he's referring to, honestly, is that, like his stuff when he was working it and polishing it, and because the the bits that you get out of the open mic scene with the things that allow you to transcend and start making money and start doing great, that's the best stuff. And
Yeah.
especially in LA, a lot of the established comedians, they're
Yeah,
watching the open micers, they're
exactly.
watching these smaller
More
venues.
so, at least to my experience, which admittedly is years ago, but at least to my experience, the it's that way in LA and not so much that way here.
No, yeah, I noticed that too.
No, actually, I was speaking to this not also speaking, but there's this guy Mickey DD. He's an Asian comedian. Yesterday at Williamsburg, and he said the same exact thing. He said that the problem is that the wealthy comedians have no idea what the fuck is going on in the real life. And
Yeah,
yeah, and then I added up that there's so much status quo now that people have to laugh just to
yeah,
validate that they're getting the jokes. So, but at the same time, for me, the way I look at it is that that it's a love affair, basically, lifelong love affair. If uh,
yeah,
the struggle has to be totally passion driven, when people see that you're fucking crazy,
yeah.
then you're gonna get work. Yeah. uh,
Hmm.
Can we call
uh,
can we call it a sickness?
yeah. Fact,
Justifiably, yeah.
talking about Mickey Didi, I just got his message that he would want to be on the podcast because his set was totally different, and very
Mm,
unique, and he's also on the older side, like me, like Snipes, and so, and he is very fun about it. So
yeah,
that's the part, you got to really enjoy the process and let things come to you, because the more, and like you said, Evan, that these people are watching these bits. Like, for example, Mark Norman was saying that when Louis C.K. got cancelled, he sent him a message that, because when Mark was killing it, Louis messaged him, "Oh man, you are killing it all over Brooklyn, and keep up the good work and all." So he sent the message to Louis that now you are cancelled. Why don't you join and start killing with me? So
oh yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So Lee got pissed, and but the bottom line is, right now, Brooklyn is where the top comedy is going on. I don't know about LA, but I think
oh,
as compared to Manhattan, because Manhattan is all saturated and very business driven. But in Brooklyn, places like Tiny Cupboard and Freddy's and a couple of other places which are not so regular at now, or at this point, right now, they're going to be revolutionary in the coming years. I mean, in
yeah.
terms of producing the talent.
all three of us are crazy. We are our material, our stuff is wild. It is out of control.
Yeah.
You all know that.
I mean,
Oh,
I'm
we
just
don't necessarily set up jokes and knock them down real quick. We tell broader kind of story performances, if you will.
I mean, I don't know. There are so many stories that Snipes have that he cannot figure out which one to tell. I mean, he doesn't need content. His life is a fucking content for like last 20, 30 years. Whether it is about his sex parties, whether is about porn collection, you know.
It's all everything I say on stage is true unless I specify that it is not.
Yeah, and then that serial killer bit and that marathon bit is like so nailed perfectly.
I
And
know I hear about that stuff like outside off the stage from you, Snipes, and I want to hear you turn it into material. I want to hear the jokes that come from some of your
I'll get
years of wild shit.
yeah, I'll get there. I'm still honestly, I'm still working on my whole performance. Like I'm still trying to find the appropriate voice. Like if that makes sense. Aren't we all? I mean, you have to have sort of a character that you are when you're on stage. And I'm trying to decide whether I need to develop more or just stick with what I'm doing. Like
should
I'm
stick with
kind of
what
in
you're
a
doing because
yeah,
you are a character in yourself. You have
yeah,
a unique persona. With that thing that is between serial killer and child molester. Something in
yeah.
right?
And what's funny is I'm like the furthest thing from those
I
in
know,
my
I
act.
know, I know that, I
Oh,
know that. But again,
and, yeah,
same is about it's like a paradox. It's like in my case as well, Dr. Tuah, I
yeah.
wanted to do satire, I wanted to do irony, and
Yeah.
people never understood what the fuck I was saying it because it was deep shit like Louis Black and comedians like that. So I thought, if you want to hear dick and pussy jokes, I can tell that as well. I have no problem.
Well, dick and pussy jokes do always work.
Yes, yes, there is a huge demand. Yeah. And I was even this your bit about not reading. Good looking people should not don't need to read. I have developed
Yeah,
my own spin on it. So tonight I'm
that's
gonna tell.
that's Evan's bit. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So I'm gonna spin it in
It's a good.
my wife's context, and I hope, of course, she's not gonna love it.
So,
Whatever.
just what is a day in the life of Doctor and Miss Doctor Hawk Tour? What does that consist of?
Okay, so she works for the mayor and
Oh,
mayor's office, and I work. I have my own company, software development. So
mhm.
she's off to work, and I'm on my own. Some
Yeah,
jerking off, sometimes
yeah,
getting motivated.
yeah,
Remember that documentary of Metallica, where during the recordings in the studios, some sort of a beast, something like that, they recorded their entire album. Whatever was going on in the studio. So he was watching these porn magazines, and I said, "What the fuck?"
yeah.
And then I was listening to Napoleon Hill today, Think and Grow Rich, and he said that, sexual energy is the most dominant force in any sort of productivity. So I don't need
Mm.
to propagate Hawk Tuah, but self Hawk Tuah is a real thing.
I was going to ask if there is a little Doctor Hakua in the future. Is that on the horizon?
No, I have my son, and he's a Gemini.
Oh, you have a son.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I
yeah.
didn't recall
No, no,
that.
no, no, no. Yeah, and he is.
But I'm sure you are a great father. Actually, I'm sure
Yes.
you're
Yeah.
a really good dad.
Yeah, thank you. And he's like
How
very,
old is he?
he's 8. And
Oh, wow.
he's a Gemini, so he's a headstrong and totally uncompromising and super naughty and intelligent and yeah, a brainy. All brainiacs, like all Geminis are brainiacs. So he's like double barrel superpower in the head.
Well, I gotta say, my dad was a Gemini, but not
Oh,
much of a genius. Yeah, he, he, uh, he, well, we won't get into him, but he definitely not. Well, he had moments of real brilliance, but just could not. Uh,
it's all about how where your energies are focused.
yeah,
Because, like for example, Trump is a Gemini, and he's a
yeah.
classic Gemini, and now he has totally changed dramatically from the way he used to conduct himself in the first term, and now he's more, resilient and calm and with resolve. So
He
the
has to
way they
win an
adapt.
election.
Sorry.
He doesn't have to win an election again, so
Yes,
he does.
but
Yeah,
yeah, but yes, and of course he is working on the Republican agenda of American dominance over the decade, and he's
well,
got
fiscal conservatism should be an essential part of democracy. Where I have a problem with Trump is when he gets into the right wing religious stuff, which he's not a religious guy, but he does pander to them, and that stuff scares me because that always has the reek of early Nazi party,
I
and
know, but the problem is that if dams are not going to attend and isolate the faith groups, then that's going to happen. I mean, if you're not going to, none of them are going to attend the Catholic dinner, then what the fuck are you expecting in the results? What were you thinking?
mm,
The final
what
dinner.
Democratic Party, none of the Democratic candidates would attend the Catholic
That's
Church's
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
invitation. Oh, I didn't know that.
The final no
Seems
no the final Catholic dinner that happened in New York, where neither Eric Adams was there. I think only Letitia James was there. Kamala Harris was not there, and Joe Biden, he's a Catholic himself. Why didn't he come?
I mean, there's a schism in the Catholic Church. There's a lot of
There
one of
is,
the things,
there is,
one
but
of
you
the,
carry people with you.
it's
I mean,
about, isn't it? Isn't it? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Evan.
no, yeah, it's just
It's
the
inclusivity. When you're talking about inclusivity, then DEI means DEI for everyone, not for just minorities.
Yeah.
no, of course, it's just there's Catholics that won't attend. I mean, just like you're talking about Joe Biden, but it's there are disagreements within the Catholic Church about. I mean,
Wow.
I
Perfect
talk about
scenario for, as
blessing
George Carlin
trans
said.
funerals.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
know,
Yes.
there's a lot of bishops and stuff that are outwardly expressing antagonism towards the Pope
Mhm.
at
I love
that
Pope
dinner.
because he has foot fetish and he washes feet, so I love him.
He wears red velvet slippers.
Yeah.
The Pope
And
wears
he's
red
born
velvet.
on the and he shares my birthday as well. So I love him.
Yeah, wow. So I need to get off camera a minute so I can stabilize this phone another way. My arm is getting very tired. So
Okay.
I'll fix
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
and then
go
I'll be
ahead.
right back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Let me
So you were saying, Evan, that conservatism, no, that was Snipes, but yeah, so like like George Carlin said, that's a perfect storm, two religious people fighting, like Sunnis and Shias and Jews and Jewish.
Gosh, I am so hot right now. I'm
Are
running
you?
a
Evan,
fever right now.
I'm sorry you have strep throat. I'm sorry. That's horrible. You have
I
a
blame
fever and all.
you and that dirty mic at the tiny cupboard.
Well, you'll probably get it again then.
I probably will, yeah.
You know,
I got very sick.
I suggest that you don't come. Take.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go out until this clears up. I don't want to get anybody else sick.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I
Well,
have a sensitive throat and I am a magnet. I am a virus magnet, basically, you know.
I canceled the Friday mic at Halyards, so there might be an open spot if you want to email them.
Where is
That's
that?
Halyards. There's a Friday mic. It's pretty good.
Okay.
Pretty good. It's
Okay.
well run. 6:30.
And how many minutes you do?
It's 5 minutes,
So
but
on
it's
Friday, what I do is I just go on this binge, tiny cupboard thing, and just mix around
you're
with.
doing. But do they have a Freddy's mic on Friday?
Sorry, they have
A
seven
Freddy's mic?
Freddy's. No, I'm not going to Freddy's. I'm talking about tiny cupboard.
Okay. Okay.
Friday is the tiny cupboard day.
Oh, okay.
7:30, 8:30, and 10.
Cool. Yeah, it's nice to just hang out there for a while.
Yes, of course, with so many brilliant minds.
I have no. Can y'all still hear me?
I can hear you, but I cannot see you.
Yeah,
The
I'm
video
getting my
sounds.
tripod set up here. Yes, I have not been to Freddy's yet, and
Okay.
I mean,
They will
is it?
love you over there, and you will love them.
Well, is it? Is there audience?
Yes, audience. That's proper audience.
Yeah, there's
Ah,
usually a little bit of audience there
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because the bar is pretty packed and people and there's it's pretty easy to get to the back room
Hmm.
and audience will just come in and watch.
Yeah. And then the sign up is also very early. It starts.
I gotta say, I really that seems a little different from the LA scene. That every comedy night in a bar here, they have a separate room set up. They don't let the comedians mingle with the crowd, as it were.
Yeah, I
All
did
right,
this.
let's try.
I was doing this show at a bar in Santa Monica and it was like right next to the game room. And so somebody would go and start playing like the basketball game or slide
Yeah,
hockey, and it would be so loud. You couldn't
yeah,
even hear the comedian, and it's just got little bells and whizzers going off in the middle of your
yeah.
set. It was a nightmare.
I gotta say, I personally could not see someone on stage doing their art and walk over and play a game while they're
Yeah.
doing it. Even if I don't approve of the art they're doing, I'm just not gonna do that.
Oh yeah, no, and they get called out, and then the DJ for the bar would be like, "Hey, like, stop running off our customers. Let them pay money to play these games." It was just our shows in
Wow.
LA are terrible.
I mean,
I gotta say, I did a show in a laundromat one time in LA, and that was yeah, that was
so how
it
long
was so.
you have lived in LA?
Did I myself lived in
Yeah.
LA about 10 years? Yeah,
Oh
roughly.
wow, really? That's a long time.
And then one time again in the 80s as well. Yeah, or yeah,
So
on
what
and
year to
off.
what year?
I'm sorry.
Which year to which year? Which decade are we talking
Uh,
about?
I can't be specific, Doctor Hakuta. I really it's all a blur in there. But I know I've been in New York for almost 20 years. So yeah, like between 15 and 20 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
it's
So you are
all a
familiar with
blur.
the Los Angeles scene.
Yeah, I was I was up in it, brother. I played the big room at the Laugh Factory. Laugh Factory has a big room, seats about 1,200 people. Yeah, I
Mhm.
played there. Played all the rooms
Played as in
at the
music or
no stand up comedy. I mean, Laugh Factory stand up comedy.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's stand up only.
yeah, it is. Okay.
yeah. It's only stand up. They don't have mixed mics even. It's. I mean, Laugh Factory is a famous place.
It is.
There's Laugh Factory, and then right up Sunset there is the Comedy Store. The
Yes.
Comedy Store has the patio, with I'm sure it's not the original autographs, but they have painted on
Yes.
the walls of the
Yeah.
patio all the autographs of the comedians who have performed there.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Mm.
that's where all the comedians hang out there and mingle, as
Yes.
it was.
And
And
when,
I'm sure most of the scene is quite different from when I was there, but I'm sure some of the same people are there. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and which
Yeah.
year are you talking about? When you did the comedy at Laugh Factory?
I guess probably up until maybe 2000 and maybe 15.
Oh,
So,
okay. Just I was there in 2015.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
when I
did
was
you?
studying at New York Film Academy.
Oh, you were studying. I was about to ask you how did we miss each other in the
Yes,
comedy thing?
yes, yes.
Were you
But I
doing stand up?
no, no, no. Then I was not. I had no idea of. I was a big, huge fan of stand-up comedy
Yeah,
in Pakistan as well. But I never had in my weirdest imagination that I would do it someday. I was just gathering my, courage last year when I
you were
first.
doing. Were you doing music then as well?
Yeah, music. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
I gotta say, I did watch one of your reels of you doing guitar and doing crowd work while you were doing guitar, and it was
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. I
Yeah,
watched
that
you
was
with
in
the guitar.
Austin. That was in
Yeah.
Austin. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So people were telling me about Austin, like I guess Joe Rogan has his own club down there, and he does
Yes,
three
yes. Mothership.
like
Yeah.
3 hours a night or something like that. Is that a true thing that happens?
Yes. 3 hours a night.
Well,
What? They have a club called Mothership, Comedy Mothership, and it's owned by Joe Rogan. I don't know what three you're talking about. There is a 3 hour show every night. Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Some comedian was telling me he goes in there and just talks 3 hours every night, and the tickets are a couple $100 or
Wow.
something like that.
Mm,
Yeah. So
I
he's
don't
got.
think so. I don't because he's
But,
super expensive and he's super busy, and
yeah,
I'm not
well,
sure if he
don't,
comes
I
in.
mean, I heard it through the comedian grapevine. How true is it? Like it's probably been stepped on for effect a few times by the time I heard it. Yeah,
I did
but
perform at the Shakespeare's pub next to it a couple of times, and but I could not do any open mic thing over there at a Mothership because of the timing, because I was doing music and comedy, and
yeah,
there was bad weather as well. But I would love to because it's the number one venue in comedy venue in Austin, I think, right now.
his club.
This comedy
Mhm.
mother, yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah, Joe Rogan's club.
yes,
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm
yeah,
sure it's just banging. I'm sure people come from all over the country to go
yes.
there.
Even
Does
Yeah,
he
they
have?
have a big, like, while the city might not be the hugest comedy city, they do a lot of online stuff.
yes.
And so the Tony Hinchcliffe thing and the Joe Rogan thing.
Tony
Yeah,
Hinchcliffe is
but
also from Texas.
Dallas is bigger as far as comedy goes. They have well-established
I,
clubs
see,
and
I've
everything.
lived in Austin and lived in Dallas before, so when I lived in Austin, it was mostly a college town and then kind of a music scene. But they got South by Southwest,
Yes.
and that has blown up, and the city has blown up because of it. A lot of celebrities have places there. It's really become a hit place. But I gotta say, for music, it was pretty cool. There's a lot of bands like the Buffalo Surfers who kind of got famous in Austin, and then Willie Nelson got famous there, and it's played a big role in music.
Yeah.
In Dallas, the music scene is mostly in this place called Deep Ellum. It's a place called Deep Ellum, and it's Elm Street. It's one of the main. Actually, that's the street Kennedy got shot on. Was
Oh,
Elm Street. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's further up the road from where he got shot, but it is the same street.
right, right. I mean, yeah, the South by Southwest was just in early March, and I was planning to go back, but I got busy in a couple of projects, and let's see. I mean, have you been to Seattle as well? Have you checked out the music scene in Seattle?
I I went there with a few bands. I have never lived in Seattle. I've been to it several times, but only seen what you see when you're with a band. I've never had a chance to really spend time there or get to know the people. I was even there in the grunge era,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but yeah, but I mean, it was kick ass. It
That
was,
was the
but
time. Yeah, yeah.
In my experience,
Yeah,
it was incredible. In Seattle, the music
yeah,
scene there is awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. It was always real fun and real nice scene. Of course, a lot of heroin, of course. Yeah,
We
it
might,
was everywhere.
Evan,
It wouldn't be a conversation with Snipes without you bringing up heroin.
Yeah. Well,
we
you see,
might go, Evan, we
I'm
might go
always,
for this project, for you to go, we might have to visit Seattle for, meetups and all. And maybe if you want to go to Vancouver, I sent the email to Mike, asking
Vancouver.
his opinion, should we do that or not?
That's
Yeah.
outside the context of the
Yeah.
podcast.
No, no,
This
I'm
is a
just saying,
comedy podcast.
yeah, but I'm just saying
We're
in
not
the
talking about
context of that,
business stuff.
I'm always excited about my best friend lives in Seattle, and he always invites me, and grunge is like transplanted in me, and
Oh,
yeah.
I've never heard anything good about any of the art scene in Vancouver.
Okay,
You
I
know, it's like a
well,
place to go see nature or whatever, but I've
okay,
never heard it being
Rockies,
like
huh? Yeah.
art or
well, I
music
got
or
to
anything.
say, I had a wife that was from Vancouver, and we went there to visit. And I think she was a wife. And, we went there to visit, and it was so cool. We were pulling in on the highway, and the whole city was below us. I don't know how that happened, but we drove in on a highway, and there it was, all down below us. The whole city of Vancouver, just beautiful. Took my breath away. I'll always remember that. The
Hmm.
beautiful city from afar.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
again, we saw heroin. We saw heroin junkies in Vancouver. Yes, we did.
A lot of Rockies over there, huh?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess it is the
Yeah.
extension of the Rockies that goes up still into. It's wild. We never really think about it, but that is the Rockies. That whole ridge is technically the Rockies.
Yeah.
I
Is
think they
it?
call it. Yeah,
Yes.
it goes all the way up the whole continent.
Hmm. Yep. I mean, I know Vancouver from Brian Adams' studio, the warehouse. Have you been to?
Mm.
Have you been there?
Oh
No?
no, no. I gotta say, big Brian Adams fan.
Oh,
Uh,
did I tell you
yeah,
about my interaction with Brian Adams?
no, you did not.
Oh, I'm gonna maybe off the podcast because Evan will
Okay.
like it. Yeah,
Well,
but
the next time I want to hear. I love Brian
yes.
Adams.
So yeah, so he was. I was attending his show in South Africa, and it was an unplugged, and I was singing out loud. And then after the show, I mean, in the end part of the show, he called everyone near the stage because it was a small stage. And then he came over and he asked who was singing from here. So everybody pointed to me, and then he gave me his guitar plectrum.
Wow, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yes, it was like,
That's such a rock and roll moment. He gave you the guitar pick. Is that
yes,
what
yes,
you
yes,
said? Yeah, yeah.
perfect. Yeah, and my CD was in my pocket, and it was such a, I was just shell shocked and starstruck that I couldn't say anything. That was in 2010.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. When did he die? 20. When did Brian Adams die?
No,
It's
no,
a
he's
shame he
alive.
died.
That's the Cascades, guys.
I,
Next to Vancouver, it's the Cascades.
Cascade.
Cascades, yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Same mountain
yeah.
range. Yeah.
Same,
Just
same
sorry.
ridge, though, right? They call it the Cascades, but it is technically the rock. I guess we call
No,
it
the
the
Rockies
Rockies.
are east.
So the
Oh,
podcast is going to disconnect any moment.
oh,
I would like Snipes to join us again, and anytime he's available.
Please.
Yeah.
Snipe. We
yeah.
need more snipes on this podcast.
Yes.
We're just
Yes.
a dynamo.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I'll probably forget, but just remind me. I did actually set aside the time, but then I forgot about it today. I apologize.
No
So yeah,
problem.
Yeah. No, it was great.
Yeah. I
so
mean, Snipes was the first person I spoke to regarding the podcast, and then we had so many, and then now Snipes is joining. We have to bring